So today we'll discuss about Module 4, Access Control Laws, Policies and Standards. Okay. These are the four things we are going to go through in this chapter. So the goals of chapter also mentioned here. So what I have done is for the US compliance laws and regulations, I made a summary. Okay. Just I took the points from each US compliance law and I made a table. Okay. I'll discuss the table first. Okay. So we have the regulation names and year it is being implemented, who must obey main code. Okay, so first thing, Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, GLBA 1999. Okay, so this is meant for banks, insurance companies, brokers, taxpayers, okay, tax preparers, then any financial institutions. Okay, so what they should do, the main goal is protect the consumer financial privacy. Okay, so financial data of the consumer should be private. Okay, don't make it public. Verify who can access the customer data. Don't allow everyone to access the customer financial data. Okay, how long they can access, why and how they access the data, and log every data access. Whenever someone accesses the financial data of a particular customer, you should record it, log it. Okay, so that we can later on we can check. Then health insurance portability and accountability, HIPAA 1996. So this is being obeyed, should be obeyed by doctors, hospitals, health insurance companies, health tech vendors. Okay, like vendors means who supply the health related products. Okay, so main goal is keep the health data private and standard. Okay, every person's health insurance data, the health data should be kept private and standard. Okay, portability, you have insurance in a particular, say in India we have Star Health Insurance. Okay, so if you have that insurance, okay, even if you lose the job or even if you change the job also, the insurance should be valid. It's not like, okay, you change the job, you lose the job, the insurance is not valid. No, insurance should be valid because we are paying the money, right? Monthly or yearly. Accountability, so for this insurance, no, somebody should be accountable, somebody should be answerable. There should be a unique ID for the doctor, no, insurance companies, employers, no, for easily claims. Okay, if you want to claim any insurance, okay, I had some disease and I want to claim the money, insurance company, from the claim the money from insurance company, I need to contact, who should I contact? Okay, I should have a unique ID for a doctor, you should have a unique ID for insurance companies, employees, and the form, filling the form also should be online. Maybe I can't go to the office and do those things. Okay, I can have an online form filling facility so that I can from home itself I can do, because I'm sick, I can't do anything, I can't go out means I can do it online and fill the form and the insurance company should pay the money. That's what mentioned. Okay, for following all these things, we need this type of regulations. Okay, they have to follow these regulations. The companies. Okay, then Sarbanes-Oxley and XOX, yani XOX 2000 Act. Okay, so this is act was implemented in 2002, and it is being followed by, must be obeyed by all the publicly traded companies. Okay, and auditors. Okay, so what is the goal of this is to stop financial statement fraud. Okay, so some companies know they do some financial frauds. Okay, so what they will do, they will keep every money related emails and spreadsheet untouched for 7 years. Okay, they will not which one publish these spreadsheets or money related emails. Okay, and you should not, which one, you should not delete these things. Okay, you should keep this so that we need to show it for auditors. Okay, whenever the auditors come for the data, come for this money related email and spreadsheet, no, don't delete this or don't which one, delete these data. Okay, so this should be audited. Okay, at least for 7 years we should keep this, don't delete this data. Okay, you should keep this so that whenever they come for auditing we should show this. Okay, and if you're not doing that according to this law, you will be punishable and you may be in prison. Okay, you will be asked to, you will be sent to jail also. Okay, then another one, Family Education Rights and Private Act, FERPA 1974. This should be followed by colleges, any education institution, those who get fund from government. Okay, like a university. Okay, some universities. Okay, the goal is to protect student education record, their address, the information, their grades. Okay, all this information should not be made public. Okay, they should be logged. Do not share the information without permission. Okay. So next one, Communication Assistance for Law Enforcement Act, CALEA 1994. This should be followed by telecom carriers like Omantel, Ooredoo, Friend in India, BSNL, Airtel, Aircel. Okay, and VoIP, broadband people, VoIP, mobile platforms, mobile companies, everyone. Okay. So here, the police with court order tapping your calls or email with the help of phone internet companies. Okay, by using this law, okay, if someone the police want to tap your communication, okay, they got information that you are doing some no things which is against the country. Okay, something. Okay, so police are able to get the court order and they will tap. Okay, leak your calls. Okay, they will listen your emails. They will listen your call. They will leak your emails and with the help of phone and internet companies, and they use device like pen register and trap and trace register. Okay, so pen register is a device which will tap who called, okay, who you called and to whom you send email, to whom you send the email and to whom you make a call. Okay, and by using trap and trace device they will check who called you, who sent email to you. Okay, these things are being done by the police to get some information about the information you leaked or not, what you whom you called, okay, then what information you shared about the country, okay, all those things. For that, the law is Communication Assistance for Law Enforcement Act. Okay, the Children's Internet Protection Act, CIPA 2000, should be followed by public schools and libraries that take this e-rate discount. Okay, so this one is protect the minors from harmful net content. Okay, that's why in colleges, no, some bad websites, okay, pornography or some sort of websites are blocked, so that they want to make sure that the kids are not being which one misguided. Okay, those websites should be blocked in the educational campuses. Okay, college campus or school campus. Free internet access or a discount rate for students, that's okay, we can give free internet for students. There is no, you have open lab here, any lab you go, you have free internet access. Okay, because the law says that whenever a student reaches the education institution, the internet should be available free so that he can search or she can search information, study or any research. Okay, but don't use or don't open any bad website. For that, what we have done, we have firewall rules there, we have some which one restrictions for opening some websites which are harmful for the students. Okay, and we need to implement systems to handle virus and information leak. Okay, we want to make sure that the machines are protected from virus. That's why all the computers in the college are having antivirus, and the information leak also to be avoided. Okay, these are the rules or regulations to be followed. Okay, US compliance regulations rules. Okay, this was done first part. Second part is this one, access control. So how do we implement access control for different things? First one, what type of access control for facilities, for systems, for applications, for data, for remote access, like that. Okay, so first thing, access control, different types of access control. For security reasons, we'll control the access towards a system. Same here, we can have different access control system like passwords, fingerprints, okay, OTPs, all these are used for controlling access to different machines. So here we are going to discuss about access control for different things. Like first one, facilities. Facilities means say server room, a data center where we have stored all the customer information. How we can control the access towards that server room or data center? How we protect the customer data or consumer data? Okay, here we have encrypting feature. Okay, encryption means the data will be encrypted, converted to secret form. Even if anyone get the data, also that data is unreadable. It's in a secret form. And protect the database server, which has customer information. Okay, by using multi-stage authentication system, not just username password for the server. We need to have fingerprint. We need to have face recognition, like that. Okay, many multiple or many authenticate systems are there to get into the server because the server has important information about the customers. Okay, so here what we can do is first one, door rules. So keep the server room locked. Okay, even in the college also server rooms are always locked. We cannot just enter the server room. The server has room has a lock there. Either we can use the physical keypad lock or we can have token. No, we have to enter a particular token ID, or we can have a biometric password like fingerprint or face scanner, and we can even put extra lock, uh, like put a padlock on the actual server rack. You know how we have seen that server rack in our labs, no? So in that server rack also, we can keep the servers in the rack, and the server rack also should be protected by a key and a lock. Okay, and the key will be given to some server room staffs, okay, so they can only have that permission, the key to unlock the which one server room rack, okay. Then also we will teach the staff who are in that server room how do we protect against social engineering scams, okay. Then how do we perform, how do we implement access control for systems? Systems means for computers, okay. Usually what we do, we have to go for strong passwords, okay. So what are the strong password policies? So password length should be, minimum requirement should be say 8 characters length. Then we should have uppercase, lowercase, numeric, special character, and you always change the passwords frequently. You have to change the passwords, okay. Don't use the same password for more like constantly. You have to keep on changing the constantly. Don't use the same password. You have to keep on changing the passwords, okay. And employees may use reuse the old password, so don't allow them to use the old passwords. You have to make a no, you have to set that group policy that reuse passwords are not allowed to be used, okay. And same password with minor change, don't allow them to use the same password the minor change, okay. That all things you should do. Okay, now next is access control for applications, okay. So here we discuss about first thing access control. We can apply for facilities like server rooms, data centers. Next one, access control for systems like passwords you give for a machine. Okay. Now access control for applications. So what are the policies will follow while you are setting up access control for applications or application software in the sense. Okay. So here standard testing procedures for any third-party application installed. Okay, whenever you are installing a third-party software application, we need to go for standard testing procedure. Okay, first of all, we have to check whether that application has any vulnerability or not. Okay, make sure it works properly before you are going to implement or install the same in the client PCs. Okay, make sure it is working properly with testing procedures are there. Then all the access controls should be examined and tested for security. Also make sure that these access controls we are going to apply, it should be secured. Okay, the passwords or whatever access control using, that should be first of all tested in the application and check the security. Okay, then if any applications do not have access control or secure access control is not there means just neglect that application. Don't use the application, whether or you want to update that application version number. Okay, then limit the application by running applications under admin account. Okay, so sometimes no, when you're running some applications, I'll show you when I'm going to run some applications in my machine. There's an option like run as administrator. Say I'm going to use one applications, this one. Okay, in the right click Arduino IDE, there's an option run as administrator. So what is that? There are some options like that. Okay, for this one. See, there are some options run as administrator. That means administrator has full privilege. The normal user don't have some privileges. So administrator means secured account. We can trust whatever you are doing in terms of in administrator account. We can trust them. That's why they have some options. Applications have options like run as administrator. Okay, safe and secure. Also follow the principle of least privilege and install software with account that is only specific permission. Okay, don't install the application with admin privilege. Okay, install the application with least privilege, like only read only allowed, not write or modify options are available. Okay, so you have to give which one, user with least permissions to run the application. Okay, these are the things we want to mention when you are thinking about access control for applications. Okay, then what about data? Data is an important part of any authorization policy. Okay, so what are the rules you have to follow when you're setting an access control for data? First thing, you want to mention which data you want to encrypt. Usually we won't encrypt normal data. We'll encrypt only data related to passwords. Okay, that's why we know in that SAM file we always keep encrypted passwords, right? Then so another important information like me, see health information, HIPAA. Okay, so that HIPAA means what? Health insurance portability accountability. Okay, the details about a particular person's health related information. Okay, all those things should be important and they should be protected, encrypted. Okay, then who will decide which data to be encrypted, which not encrypted? System engineers and database administrators, they are the one decide which data has to be encrypted, which doesn't need encryption. Okay, Also, we have to enforce principle of lowest possible access. Yani we need to make sure that not all users will have write access, some will have only read access. Okay, read access. Only few will have write access or modify access. Okay, this is what access control for data. Then access control for remote access. First thing, why do we need remote access? So remote access means assume that some company, some employees can't come to the office and work. Okay, they will have some like some other problems. Okay, so maybe health problem. Okay, even in our college also there was some staff who had some issue, health related problem. Okay, so what happened? They were used to take class online during Corona time. Okay, some were stuck at their country. They cannot come back to college. Okay, so they were asked. They have been given permission for say 1 or 2 weeks. They can start taking classes online, right? Remote access. Same here in our college also, some devices we can access remotely, like switch and router we can remotely access. Same happens in companies also. And Microsoft company also, some employees work from home. So what they will do, they'll have a private virtual connection, or they'll have the like a virtual private connection, VPN connection, so that they can access the company data and they can work from home remotely. Okay, so that will increase the employees' productivity. Some are happy to work from home. They don't like that office atmosphere. They can work from at least. So only thing is they have to complete their work, right? So many companies are now following that pattern. Okay, so they don't want to build a which one office in the center of a city, and they don't want to spend a huge amount of rent on all other electricity, all the bills. They can save those bills. What they will do? They'll ask the employees to work from home. Okay, during corona time that's what happened. Okay, everybody will work from home. Even company also no need to open their office premises. They you can save their electricity, everything. They all work from home. Work will be allowed. They can work from home. Okay, so they can use the internet connection to access the college or company's network, and they can do their work, and they can use VPN connection. Okay, so what is the policy for remote access? First thing will be don't allow remote access for every employee. Those who have real need, they should be given that permission for remotely working. Okay, that also temporary basis. Don't give it permanently. Then nobody will come to office, right? Second one, grant access to VPN. So everyone would have should have connected to the company network through VPN, and that VPN also needs some authentication. Okay, like strong passwords or token. Okay, whenever you are going to connect to the VPN, we need to have either passwords or maybe it's passwords plus token device. Okay, and during that communication, okay, we need to talk only about work. Okay, work related activity should be done. Don't do any private works. Okay, do only work related or company related jobs. Okay, that's what authorization policy or access control for remote access. Okay, after that, in that chapter, what we have is these things we discuss. Okay, these things we discuss. Next is this one here, this one done, this one done, this one. IT security policy framework. It is a structured set of rules, guidelines, and best practices that allows an organization to protect its IT asset and data from cyber threats. Okay, actually, it's a set of rules or practices you should follow in an organization. For what? For protecting the IT assets like data centers, data, your storage devices, your application software, all those things you want to protect from cyber attacks. Okay, and for that, see different types of which one uh, access controls are there. Okay, we have firewall. We have to install the firewall. We have to install intrusion detection software. We should have a policy. Okay, we should have some softwares. All these things. Okay, so why we need this? To secure the company infrastructure and data from cyber attacks. Okay, so we need to always update the access control policy. We should not use the same access control every year. Okay, or every time. Okay, you should update that access control policy also. Okay, you have to protect the infrastructure through logical and physical security policies and procedures. Okay, logical means like access controls like usernames, passwords, then fingerprint scanner, iris scanner. Physical security policy means like lock and key. We have racks. Racks also will be locked by using the key, old type of locks. Okay, then what are the factors to be considered when building an IT security policy framework? Okay, size of organization. How many members are there in the organization? How many devices are there? How many computers there? How many servers there? Based on the size of organization, will decide what type of policy, IT security policy framework we need. Also, type of information utilized. Okay, what type of information you are storing, what type of information you are reading from the company. Based on all those things, we will go for the security policy framework. And also industry the company exists. Okay, what type of industry the company is uh, existing, like is health and care industry or IT industry or what type of industry. Based on all these things, we'll decide what type of IT security policy framework we need. Okay. After that, some simple definition. What is policy? What is standard? What is guideline? Okay, policy means a document that describes specific requirements or rules that must be met in a given area. Okay, the rules to be followed is policy. Okay, so see here, policy example. Every account must have a strong password. So whenever you are creating a user, okay, a user account, okay, the password should be a strong password. Otherwise, no, if your password is weak, and if the your machine is vulnerable, as your machine is connected to the network, once the attacker takes compromise your computer, through that computer, they can attack the whole network. That's why the password should be strong. That's a policy. Standard means a collection of requirements that must be met by someone before when performing a given task. Okay, so example, there are some requirements. Okay, you cannot just give any password. It should be 14 characters. Example, okay, 14 characters length, mixed case, capital letter, small letter should be there. There should be a number. There should be a symbol. They should be changed every 90 days. That's the standard. Okay, guideline set of suggestions and best practices to meet the standard and policy. Okay, so example is use a password manager so you don't forget the long one. Okay, so there will be a password manager software. They will give you the passwords. Okay, that's a guideline. That's what policy, standard, and guideline. Procedure means, see, everything has a procedure, right? So they have a, that means a set of steps to be taken to achieve a result. Okay, we have to write set of steps, written steps to achieve a particular result. So it may be written so that we will not end up in problems. Okay, so example here, password, changing a password on workstation. Okay, so there is a procedure for changing your password on the computer in the organization. Okay, you cannot simply change the password. You want to make a request. The request will go to IT department. They will check the feasibility. After that, they will send someone and you can reset the password. Okay, because it is a device related connected to your company. Okay, not your personal device. The company device means a workstation means a computer used in your company or your department. So there are some policies, procedures to be followed while you are on to change your password. Okay. So examples of policy. So this is policy, standard, guideline. Now we have policy example, acceptable use policy. Okay. So here the policy which tell you what are the things allowed or accepted in your company. Okay, see what task can be performed and what task cannot be performed using the resources. We have some resource in company, right? So we cannot perform all the tasks. There are some tasks which are not allowed inside the company. That is acceptable use policy. Okay, so one policy, you're not allowed to open, which one, social media accounts or social media websites in college or office time. You should not be allowed to open some Netflix. You should not be allowed to watch movie. You should not be allowed to connect the USB or flash drive in the computer, like that. Okay, some acceptable policies are there. Then password policy. So whenever you're setting a password for a PC in a company, okay, office premises, there should be some requirements. There should be minimum length. There should be a capital letter, small letter, number, then special character, like that. Okay. Account management policy means how the new accounts added, how we can secure the accounts, how we can delete the old accounts. Okay. Whenever someone employee joins the organization, we want to create an account for you, right? Account for him, right? So what is the policy for that? Okay. Then how we can make the account secure? Okay, how we can tell what type of data or passwords you have to give. Then how when the employee leaves the job, okay, we want to delete that account. So what is the policy for deleting? All this comes under account management policy. Okay, remote access policy means, so how people are connecting remotely, connecting to the college or university resources, switch or router or any device sitting from home, how they access all these devices with password or without password. That policy is called as remote access policy. Policy for remotely sitting from far away, how they access the machine, what time the remote access is allowed. You remember during Corona time, um, we were allowed to access that college machines. Okay, even students also allowed to open college machine through a VPN. Okay, I forgot the name of VPN. Okay, then also there was a time only during this time only you were allowed to access, not night time. Like college works from morning 8 to 4. No, like that you can access the college resources only from during daytime. That's what some policies. Okay, then standard document means there are different type of documents, standard documents available in the company. Okay, user account standard means here we will discuss about types of user accounts here. Okay, local account, admin account, group account. Okay, then identification standard. Whenever they are making an identity for a user, like whenever you are going to work in a company, you just join the company, how they will identify you, how they will assign a email ID for you. Okay, that depends upon your maybe first name, last name, maybe depends upon your pataka. All those things are identification standard. Okay, say as I told you in the example, no classroom. My email ID is rajesh.kala@utas.edu.in. They cannot give me okay mujahid.rajesh. They cannot because my name is Rajesh Kala, Rajesh Rajamalekala. That's why they give me email ID rajesh.kala. They cannot give me mujahid or what we call that Shadab or Shahad. They cannot give a name for me because they will be giving their name based on my identity. People email me based on my name. If I cannot put my email ID as whatever name I told, right? Say Osama, I cannot put my name. My email ID is Osama because I am not Osama. I am Rajesh.Kala. That's why my email ID will be rajesh.kala@utas.edu. Or for me, for you people, maybe ID number. So 66J123 is the ID means based on the ID they will give the email ID. Okay, there's a standard they follow. Then remote access standard. Okay, so what are the tools for implementing that remote access? How do we remotely access the college server or college resource like switch or router? We need to have some example protocols like SSH and Telnet. Telnet means an easy way to access the remotely access the switches router, but problem is it is not encrypted. The data will be sent as plain text. Anyone can which one interfere and they can read the data. But SSH means also remote access protocol. We can sit from a location, sit from a computer, access the college system, college router, college switch, but the data are encrypted. Okay, secret form. Application development standard means what are the different types of applications we can use in your organization? How do we design the application? All these have some standards. Okay. Then procedures. I told you procedure means a sequence of steps to achieve a result. So here there is a procedure. I want to what I need is see here. I want to get a new login account. Okay, so I'm a new employee. I want to get a new login account. There is a procedure. You cannot just go and tell the system administrator that I want a user account, delete, create me immediately. No, there is a procedure, Baba. So you have to follow the steps. Okay, first thing, fill in the paper because we don't have a computer, no. So we have to fill in the paper. Fill in the paper. What you have to fill? Name, your job, your manager signature, everything. Then give the form to IT section, IT department. Here we have ETC, right? Give them form to ETC or IT. Then the manager will get an apply email, approve or deny. If manager click deny means you will not get which one the account. You will get a sorry mail. If manager approve means IT department will create your account. Okay, and IT will put signed form in folder. Done. Okay, so whenever they finish that account creation, they will sign it and they'll put in their folder, and you will get the accounts. This is how the procedure works. Okay, procedure means sequence of steps to perform a task. Okay, what I'm telling? Okay, same thing what you have written here and I put on the other side. Okay, then some examples of department guidelines like individual should periodically review the access control policies. Okay, so this access control policy standard procedures everything should be periodically updated. They should not store critical information in their email accounts. Okay, so if any important information means don't put in the email accounts. Okay, you have to store as a document on file server where it will be encrypted. Users should not write down the password or base them on personal identify information. Okay, so don't write down the password in a paper. Don't connect that password to your personal information. Maybe somebody knows you personally, they will guess your password. Okay, also create a strong password. Then department heads and managers should review the access control. Okay, even the department heads also should review the access control systems. Okay, And user account disabled after 30 days of inactivity. So your account, you're not using your account for more than 30 days, your account will be disabled automatically. These are the guidelines, the department guidelines you should follow. These are things coming under your in your chapter 4. Okay, hope you understood.